Hey everyone, get ready for an amazing journey. Today, we're diving into a story so ancient, so foundational, it changed everything about how humans communicate. Imagine a world without texting, emails, or even simple notes. Impossible, right? Well, we're talking about the ultimate invention that started all written communication, the Sumerian Cuneiform. This isn't just about old writing. It's about the very foundation of how we share ideas, tell stories, and build entire civilizations. If you're curious how humans first cracked the code of communication, you're in the right place. This is where history gets super cool and relevant, even today. So let's jump into the fascinating world of Sumerian cuneiform. Are you ready for some serious knowledge that will make you sound incredibly smart? Let's go. All right, let's set the scene. We're traveling way back, about 5,500 years ago, to Mesopotamia, the cradle of civilization, nestled between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. This area, now Iraq, was super fertile, leading to lots of food, people, and big ideas. One of the biggest ideas ever came from the Sumerians, the original innovators who created the first ever writing system, cuneiform. They essentially invented writing. It all started because life was getting complicated. Imagine you're an ancient Sumerian farmer. You have tons of grain and sheep, and you're trading with neighbors. How do you keep track of everything? How do you remember who owes what? You need a system. That's why the Sumerians invented cuneiform. It was a practical tool, a real-world solution to real-world problems. They needed to record their stuff, barley, traded goats, and taxes. As their tunes grew into big cities and society became more complex, the need for a good record-keeping system became super important. Running a city, collecting taxes, organizing big projects, and managing an army without writing would be chaos. So cuneiform wasn't just a cool invention, it was a necessity. It allowed them to manage growing economies, keep track of laws, and send royal messages. And how did they write? They used cool clay tablets, like ancient iPads, made of mud. Clay was abundant in Mesopotamia. They'd flatten wet clay and use a pointed reed, a stylus, to press marks into it. The marks looked like wedges, hence cuneiform, meaning wedge-shaped in Latin. Pretty cool, huh? What started as simple pictures, representing objects like a grain head for grain, or a drawing of an ox, slowly changed. It was tough and slow to draw detailed pictures, so they simplified them. Those pictures became more abstract, more like symbols, and then those wedge-shaped marks. It was a journey from basic drawings to a super efficient way of writing. This change made writing faster and easier. So, from counting sheep to creating the first written language, the Sumerians really changed the world. But cuneiform wasn't just for counting sheep or recording business deals. It got much more interesting. Once they had this amazing tool, the Sumerians used it for everything. Knowledge could finally be permanently recorded. Imagine the power of that. They wrote down their myths, like the epic tale of Gilgamesh, one of the oldest stories ever told. They recorded their laws, setting rules for how people should live. They even wrote medical records, detailing illnesses and treatments. Priests used cuneiform to record temple offerings, explain their gods, and document important events. It was also used for practical stuff, like land sales, marriage contracts, and even court cases. So cuneiform wasn't just for big, important things, it was for everyday life. And it didn't just stay with the Sumerians. As different groups came into power, and different languages were spoken in Mesopotamia, cuneiform adapted. It started as a way to write Sumerian, but then was used to write other languages too, like Akkadian, Elamite, and Hittite. It was like the ultimate flexible writing system. It even influenced other writing systems that came later, some of which eventually led to the alphabet we use today. So, when you're typing or writing, remember you're carrying on the tradition started by those ancient Sumerians. And here's another super cool fact. The clay tablets they used were amazing for preserving information. Writing on wet clay and letting it dry made it pretty durable. But here's the kicker: if a city burned down, those clay tablets got baked in the fire, making them even harder and more resistant to time. So instead of being destroyed, they were preserved even better. That's why we have so many cuneiform tablets today, giving us an incredible window into their ancient world. It's like a super sturdy ancient hard drive. And finally, how do we know all this? Smart people called archaeologists and linguists worked tirelessly to decode cuneiform. It wasn't easy. Imagine trying to figure out a language nobody has spoken for thousands of years. But thanks to incredible efforts, especially by people like Georg Friedrich Grotefend and Henry Rawlinson, who studied the Behistun inscription, we can now read these ancient messages. This truly opened up the ancient world to us. The Sumerians, through cuneiform, didn't just invent writing. They invented the way we stir and share knowledge, setting the stage for all future civilizations. They gave us so many foundational ideas, from the wheel to our calendar systems. even our way of counting time. Their influence on the world, especially on Western and Middle Eastern cultures, is just huge. It's like they laid the groundwork for everything. So next time you see some writing, remember the Sumerians and their incredible cuneiform. It's a true testament to human ingenuity. All right, wasn't that an epic journey into the past? From simple needs to a revolutionary invention, Sumerian cuneiform truly changed everything. It wasn't just about putting marks on clay, it was about connecting minds across time and space, laying the very foundation for all the knowledge, stories, and communication we enjoy today. So the next time you send a text, write an email, or jot down a note, take a moment to appreciate the Sumerians, the original innovators who started it all. Their genius truly echoes through history all the way to our modern world. Thanks for joining me on this amazing historical adventure. Keep exploring, keep learning, and stay curious.